Good morning, YouTube. Welcome to the channel. We are on a bumpy road and I'm Tyler Fikes. If you guys have not already, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Today we're gonna be fixing up the DURAMAX just a little bit, making it that much cooler. So we're gonna be reinstalling leaf springs in the rear end. We already have leaf springs with our factory OEM leaf springs from 2005, and we're still using blocks for lift. So instead of doing a new leaf spring that has a higher arch in it, all there is a little block about 5 inches, 4 inches tall. I think it's 4 3/8 inches tall on this lift kit. And basically when you have a block under the leaf spring, it's creating leverage point for the axle when it's getting power to torque and bend your axle. And that's when you get axle wrap. That's what people call it. It has torque and it just twists your axle. It happens when you put a higher block on it because you're making a lot more torque. It's like when you get a short little wrench and you turn something, and you get a long wrench and you turn something, it's a lot easier to turn the long wrench. So it's creating more torque on that axle, and it can mess stuff up. It can give you axle wrap if you make a lot more power than stock, or if you're a lot taller than stock, which this truck is taller than stock and makes a lot more power than stock. We're making about 1200 torque, 600-ish horse. So you can do two things to alleviate that torque. You can get a leaf spring that's a U for the leaf, that is a U in order to give you lift rather than a block, which I have on the single cab, but we don't have on this truck, so we're going to be installing that today. And it's just gonna be nice. It'll be a better ride. They're Cognito, they match the upper control arms in the front. I really like Cognito's products. It's gonna give a smoother ride. These are starting to creak a little bit, just the joints on them are getting old. They're getting old and wearing out, so it's time to replace them. We have the Cognitos sitting in the garage. We're gonna throw those on the truck, and they're only 4 inches of lift, where these blocks are about almost 4.5 inches of lift, but the truck sits about an inch, half an inch taller in the back, which I don't like. I like it to be perfectly level. I don't like squatted, I don't like raked, I like it level. And I know a lot of guys say it's supposed to be raked, taller in the back for towing. This truck doesn't tow all that much, and even if it does, it can handle the extra weight. Those are some pretty serious springs we're throwing on the back. Anyways, you can also do traction bars, which we have done on this truck in order to fix axle wrap, because this truck was getting axle wrap once I got the bigger turbo and tune on here. It was having a little bit of axle wrap issues, so we threw some ladder bars on there. This is actually the second set. This is the, and pardon me if I say this wrong, McGroy's, I think that's how you say it, or McGrothy's, it's one of the two. But we have those traction bars on, also powder coated white, the color of the truck, super clean. I want to do something similar in the front to make it match. It kind of looks disproportionate right now with big traction bars in the back and then nothing up front, and powder coat in the back, not in the front. So I'll have more projects in the works for this truck down the road, suspension wise, but for now we're just going to get the black powder coated leaf springs on the back, lower it down just a tiny bit in the back, and alleviate some of that axle wrap stress. It'll take pressure off the axle, and it's going to ride better. Just overall, it's going to be a lot better for the truck. So I'm going to get in the garage, start tearing the DURAMAX apart on the back end, get the new leaf springs on, and I will catch up with you guys somewhere along the way over there. We're almost back to the garage. All right, guys, the new leaf springs are done on the truck. I want to give you guys a couple quick little tips on how we did this. So you can see, got them on. I've already taken it for a drive. It does ride a lot better. They're actually Deaver leaf springs, but Deaver and Cognito work together, so same pretty much thing. So they're on the truck. It sits just a tiny bit lower in the back now, and it's a pretty much perfectly level ride from front to back. Here are the old leaf springs. Those are factory springs, and those are the aftermarket blocks. And they're about 4 3/8 inches in height. So from bottom to top, they had about 4 3/8 inches. So we went down about 3/8 of an inch in the back, and now it's totally level, looks great, and the ride quality, I was blown away by after taking this on the first ride. First of all, the creaking, squeaky noises that the old ones were making, just because the bushings there and maybe even in there were getting old, starting to really wear out. They were making a lot of noise. These ones are silent. Now, a couple little tips. The driver's side is insanely harder than the passenger side. So if you look right in here, you can see this bolt backs right up to the fuel tank. Get some light on it. You can see it's not a lot of room to take the bolt out. So what I had to do was cut it a pretty good amount, back it out, and it's still not coming out. So I actually had to cut this bolt coming the other way because they put it through the opposite way. They put it through bolt coming this way, nut on this side. And it's clear that GM installed this and then put the fuel tank in. So in order to get this bolt out coming that way, without cutting it, you would have to drop the whole fuel tank, and that is not something I wanted to do. It's the same exact thing as when I did it on my 99 Sierra 1500. So I'm imagining 99 to 06 is going to be exactly the same with this bolt. You're going to have to cut it in order to get it out. And then I ended up going and buying a new bolt, putting it through this way, the way it should have been put through, and putting a nut on the other side. Totally worked out fine. This side was a little tricky, just, you know, getting all the movements down, getting that in and out. And then with the fuel tank and a lot of other extra parts over here, this is the side where your fuel lines run, your brake lines, for the emergency brake or the parking brake, whatever you want to call it. Passenger side, however, came out like butter. We threw the new ones in super easy, got the truck back on the ground, and we have already, like I said, taken it for a couple rides, and it rides a lot better. Kind of want to sell these if anybody needs some factory 05 2500 HD leaf springs with blocks. Hit me up. They'll probably be here for a while because I don't know how many people are really going to want these, but I want them gone. Don't really know what to do with them. Leave a comment or shoot me a DM on my Instagram if you guys want those. Anyways, guys, if you came here for the how-to portion of the video on how to install leaf springs, it's pretty much the same for any leaf sprung truck with the axle in the back. It's going to be about the same with a few little differences. Like I was saying, the bolt on the driver's side you're going to have to cut and all that good stuff. Other than that, it's pretty simple. You lift up on the truck from the body. So I went from the tow hook, the tow hitch, because that's connected to the frame. You lift up there, get the axle drooped to full droop, tires barely off the ground. If you want to take the tires off, it does make it a lot easier. I ended up taking both off. It's not a necessity, but I would recommend it because you're going to be pulling the leaf in and out, and it's going to make it a lot easier if that wheel and tire is just not in the way, especially if you guys have some big wheels and tires like on this truck. Anyways, super simple. Unbolt it in the front where it connects, unbolt it in the back where it connects, drop it down, kind of shimmy. That whole side of the axle will drop down because that is the only thing connecting the axle to the truck. I did take the traction bars off, or the ladder bars, whatever you want to call them, in order to get the axle to be able to drop. You pull the old one out, put the new one in, put the bolts through, put the U-bolts back on the axle, just like that, button it all up, you're done. One side's done, go to the other side, same exact thing. Unbolt at the front, unbolt at the back, unbolt from the axle. The whole thing kind of drops down once you get the two in the front and back disconnected, and then you're able to undo the U-bolt and kind of just lift up, take it out, put the new one in, put it back down, attach it loosely with the U-bolts to the axle, lift the axle up into place, shimmy it around, like I said, leave it loose so you do have some movement, get it up in there, one bolt through in the front, one bolt through in the back, get the nuts on, tighten it down, grease it up. I did some super lube on there just to help everything be a little more free moving. If there's a Zerk fitting on yours, which most don't have, but if you're lucky enough to have a Zerk fitting, definitely grease those as much as you can. You can never overdo it with lubricant. It's just going to help it last longer. And I definitely recommend lubricating it in some way or another if there is no Zerk fitting, which, like I said, most won't. So hit it with some super lube, whatever you guys got to do, get those things nice and slippery. Anyways, if you guys did enjoy the video, found this helpful in any ways, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and until next time, see you guys later.